Hey, how you doing? So it's a lie! Or is it a lie? Maybe it's a lie, maybe it isn't a lie. Being on the homestead, being out of the city, escaping reality, being self-sufficient, living on your own, freedom! Welcome to Goose Pond Hideout. I'm Rob, and we got a bloomin' forsythia behind us here today. So I just wanted to chit chat gab with you about everything that's been going on, and a lot of people like you are probably thinking about homestead, being self-sufficient, being self-reliant, independent from the system, because what happens if the system fails, if our government collapses, and what happens, this, that, or the other. I mean, look what happened with the eggs recently, and the grid shuts down for this reason or that reason. You just, what's going on in the world. So hey, let's all move out to the country and be self-sufficient, right? And obviously I think that's a good idea. And you just have to decide, what's the right thing to you. And more importantly, you've got to do something for the right reason. Doing the right thing for the wrong reason isn't always going to end up being a good thing for you. And that's what I want, is for things to be right for you, for things to work out for you. And like the egg thing is, here on our homestead, I figure that our eggs, they probably cost us $5-6 a dozen. So if you get chickens because you want to have cheap eggs, it's not going to be right, because they end up costing you more than what's in the store. Maybe not right now today, but traditionally, having chickens in your backyard, you're paying more for the eggs than if you bought them from the store. So wanting cheap eggs is not a reason to have chickens. Just like I'm sure you're well aware of gardening, growing tomatoes and cucumbers and peppers and green beans and radishes, or whatever you like. You don't grow food in the garden to save money. You might as well just go buy them at Walmart or whatever, right? If dollars are the reason that you're doing something, because the cost is gonna end up being more. And sure, you can get really good and really efficient at it, and you can grow heritage products, items, plants, grow heritage plants. You can collect the seeds and save them and Ziploc them up, or seal them up, and then start from seedlings next year, so you don't have a cost. Because I mean, if you go to the stores, if you pay $5, $6, $7, $8 a plant, like they're selling them at the big box stores and that, obviously that's not going to save you any money, right? You got to get an awful lot of tomatoes off of a plant if you've paid $8 for the plant. And we're not even talking about your time or anything. And then when you're out here in the country, you'll hear people say, well, you're never going to get a paying job. What are you going to do for money? What are you going to do for health care? You're so far away from everything. How can you afford your health insurance if you don't have a job with a big company that provides it to you at a cost? And all these things, it can be overwhelming. And so that's why a lot of people say it's a big lie, thinking that you're going to be self-sufficient and living on your own and taking care of yourself and your family if you live out in the country. And I mean, for those reasons, it's kind of true, right? So hang on. All right, quick cut there. The road is like right there. I'm out at the very front of our property. I wanted to show you our forsythia blooming here. And I mean, it is like, the road is like right there. So big truck went by, so I thought I'd not talk for a second there. But again, I want you to be happy. I want you to have freedom, and all those things. I just want to make sure that you think about things and that you're doing stuff for the right reasons, because that's what's really important for me. And I actually grew up in the burbs of a big city, but I spent a lot of time visiting relatives on the weekends and in the summer. and you know, farmer, I learned how to, you know, I milked cows and we butchered pigs. And as I grew up, you know, we hunted and trapped, and I got sick and tired of cleaning and eating rabbits as a kid, you know. But, you know, I learned from my grandparents, you know, how to garden and how to do all that independent, self-sufficient stuff. So even though I actually grew up in the burbs and, you know, went to school there and all that, you know, all to the right, you know, public schools, but you know, good schools and things, is I always wanted to be out in the country. Even, you know, when I went to college, I studied environmentalism. It was the 70s, Earth Day, you know, and all that kind of stuff, and alternative energy and solar homes and passive energy and active energy. It was a different world back then, you know. That was the analog world before we had all this nice high-tech stuff. I mean, now the solar panels are so much better today than they were back in the 70s in their infancy, and inverters and charge controllers, and, you know, we've come so far that it's pretty inexpensive and really functional. So I've been sharing, the last video was about our, I think that's the same truck going back the other way, is we bought one of those power stations that is the lithium iron phosphate batteries, which, I mean, those didn't exist back in the day. We used to collect golf cart batteries and use those. And now you've got, you know, the lithium iron phosphate batteries, and a lot of this technology has developed because of EVs, right? The electric vehicles, Teslas and all the other, you know, the companies that are making electric cars, and they've really catapulted the battery technology. And some of these companies are actually using EV batteries in their power stations, the bigger ones, you know, when you get up in the 20, 30, 40, 50 kilowatt hour type batteries that would run our home for a week or two. But you know, again, we've come so far, and so that's why I started sharing, and I'm going to share some more in videos. The next one, maybe I'll talk about our solar panels, and I hope so. If you find that interesting, you know, let me know about self-sufficient energy, because in today's world, we're never going to be truly 100% self-sufficient, right? It's just not going to happen. And that's, you know, that lie part when people say, oh, you're not self-sufficient because you're on the internet, right? So you're not living out, you know. And we're not talking about living in a cave under a rock, or, you know, with no electricity, because now you can provide your own. I mean, we are actually on the grid here. I've talked about that. The pole across the road is right there, and then the line comes across to our pole just right over here, just out of the camera. And our line was knocked down by something back in January, and that's, you know, got me thinking more about being power, energy, self-sufficient. And so those are the kinds of things, you know, do what's right for you. Don't be doing something for the wrong reason. And don't just say, well, we all got to move out to the country because, you know, we can't buy eggs now, or, you know, there's no more toilet paper, so we got to have an outhouse with the Sears catalog. Remember those days? Do they even make Sears catalogs anymore? We couldn't wait for the Christmas Sears catalog to come so we could flip through the pages and put little, you know, bookmarks in for the pages with the thing that we wanted for Christmas from Santa. So, you know, we love being out here in the country and having property, and our chickens and our geese and our guineas, and Bonnie's walking around here. You can probably hear her crunching in the leaves, and our, you know, cats and other things. And we got a new kitty. We have a kitty that adopted us back in a couple months ago. He just showed up, who knows where he came from, a little kitten, and I was hoping that he would wander off away, and He spent a night up in a tree in the pouring rain because the dogs were barking at him. So I felt bad for him. So he's in the barn, and now we got a new barn cat. We named him Barney. Barney the barn cat. And he's orange, all orange. He doesn't have any white on him, I don't think. Boy kitten, so we get to deal with that, right? But you know, that's life in the country. You got to be adaptable. That's the thing. Be adaptable. Be able to ebb and flow and make your plans, but make them in pencil, right? Because they're going to be different. And you know, those are the kinds of things that I just wanted to share that with you on this nice spring day. It's, you know, we've had pouring rain and the wind's been blowing 1,000 miles an hour, and tornadoes and hail and all kinds of crazy weather stuff, and it's like a beautiful, beautiful day. So freedom to you, and I hope everything works out. If you do have a question about homesteading and being self-sufficient and alternative energy or anything like that, let me know and I'll do my best to answer it for you.